We're going to get started in just a moment. Good morning, York. Welcome to Impact 20. I'm Jane Conover, president of the York County Community Foundation. We know there's so many important things going on in our community right now. It's hard to keep up with them all, and a quick email or newsletter doesn't quite give the full picture. Impact 20 is a live 20-minute deep dive into high-impact initiatives going on in our community. We interview people who are taking on big challenges so you can walk away learning something new and perhaps be a bit more hopeful. And we want you to be part of the conversation, so please use the chat feature to submit your questions. The Community Foundation was created by many generous donors who devoted their financial resources to making York County a great place to live today and for future generations. Their charitable funds at YCCF now generate over $6 million each year to grant to projects that impact people's lives and make our community stronger. One of those generous donors was Anna Gardner. More than 110 years ago, she gave a gift to York County. Her goal was to create the best quality of life possible for all of us as we age. Today, her Han Home Fund supports the work of YCCF's Embracing Aging initiative. We're honored to carry forth Anna's legacy through grant making and by advocating for better. Today, we will talk about how York can become more age-friendly. I'm joined by Cathy Bollinger, YCCF's Managing Director of Embracing Aging. We're lucky to have someone with Cathy's expertise and commitment on our staff. She has presented at national aging conferences, appeared on regional radio and television shows, and her articles have been published in local and regional publications. Cathy was one of 4 witnesses selected to present testimony to the United States Senate's Committee on Aging in 2018. Good morning, Cathy.
Good morning, Jane, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing, Cathy. Why don't we start by just sharing more about what the Embracing Aging initiative is?
Embracing Aging is all about creating a vibrant York County where all ages thrive. And to us, that means that people can live easily and in their homes and in their community. And we recognize there's lots of great organizations who are providing wonderful services and programs to help older adults. And we're so thankful for their contributions into our community. And in fact, Embracing Aging last year gave almost $500,000 in grants to help those organizations provide those programs and services. But we know it's not enough. People are living longer. Every seven baby boomers, turn age 65 or older every single minute. And in York County, 65% of our residents are age 65 and older, and 22% are age 50 to 64. So as a result of this longevity, older people are doing and spending more. They're reimagining life beyond their traditional retirement age. They don't want to be put in a stereotypical box that says this is how you should live your later years. So Embracing Aging works to address ageism and improve those attitudes on aging. And we also work to reduce barriers to aging well. And the way we do that is to encourage and assure that decisions that are made in the community are considerate of the needs and the desires of older people.
Sure, that makes sense. Why is it so important to change negative attitudes about aging? Because aging really is just a part of life, isn't it?
Yes, it is a normal part of life, and it's the one thing we all have in common. And I don't know anyone who doesn't want to live a nice, long life. But, we have to think that, of course, things change as we age. The difference is that when we're younger, as we age and those changes happen, their view is positive. But as we grow older and in our later decades, those changes are viewed as negative. And for many, that thought of aging is something that makes them uncomfortable. It's scary to them. And when that happens, we want to create an us versus them. A coping mechanism for us when we think about aging and possible mortality is that we psychologically and we physically distance older people away from us. And when that happens, that can create age discrimination, in housing and workplaces. It can have a profound influence on the type and amount of healthcare one might be offered, one might be requested or received. It also lowers expectations about the needs and wants of older adults, their abilities, their interests. And of course, it keeps us from making decisions that are inclusive of all age groups.
Yeah, wow. I bet a lot of people don't realize how their views of their own aging and others' aging impacts their lives and how it impacts how things actually work in the community. Are there specific examples? Is there a specific example that Embracing Aging is working on to address this?
Yes, let's take housing, for instance, because that's such a key component to our quality of life as we age. So 83% of older adults live in homes that they own. And 76% of older adults, on average, want to remain living in those homes and communities as they age. Yet our communities aren't designed for, or are designed for what we call a car driving public. So there's challenges, right, when we're no longer want to or able to drive. And we know that most older adults will outlive their ability to drive by 6 to 7 years. And when that happens, their engagement in the community decreases at least by 15%. And that's not only engagement in things that they want to do, but it's things that they need to do, like go to doctor's visits. So we want to work to make certain that housing is located within walking distance of grocery stores and doctor's offices and transportation, public transportation stops. We also know that most of the housing in York County is not does not feature what we call livability features that's going to help us be safe and comfortable as we age. So we want to make certain that we're focusing on how can we increase those livability features in homes. And then there's the whole thing with older adults who might be struggling to meet their basic needs and may be looking for a more affordable housing option. 36% of people age 65 and older in York County are struggling to meet those needs. And York County has 1,998 affordable senior housing units, and people are on wait lists 2 to 4 years to get one of those coveted spots. And up until just this summer, it had been since 2010 since we had a development of affordable housing happening in York County. But this summer it was announced that in Dallastown, Jane, we're going to get a new affordable housing for seniors at about 43 units. So we're really excited about that. But let me, to take then this a step forward further. We have partnered with York County Planning Commission. We are working on a senior housing initiative because we recognize that, first of all, we have a responsibility to help assure that our municipalities understand the data about older adults living in their communities and what their needs and their wants are. We want municipalities to have ordinances in place that are going to support the way people want to live. We've also then been working on development partnerships. You know, those affordable housing units that I mentioned, those applications are very laborious in terms of time and also expensive to do. So we are coming up with innovative ways to maybe finance those. And we're also looking at demonstration projects, like maybe we can bring market rate and affordable housing together along with maybe a corner grocery store and a doctor's office. So how can we have different types of housing options in York County? Another thing that we're doing in that partnership with the Planning Commission is some advocacy around aging in place. So helping older adults understand what they need to consider as they want to age in the community. And then finally, the umbrella over it all is coordinated messaging. There's such a stigma associated with certain words: aging, elderly, affordable. So we want to make certain that we're reframing those and that people truly understand what the needs are.
Yeah. I think it's so important too for us to get comfortable talking about it, even within our own families, right? So whether it's our own future needs or our parents or our grandparents, the more we can talk about it, I think, and not avoid the topic, the better prepared we'll be, and the quality of life will be better for our older family members. So we're talking about the challenges, and you're talking about some ideas for the future. This is terrific. What do you think success would look like? What does having the best quality of life as we age look like?
So keeping in the vein of housing, We have places where we have properties where we can convert garages into apartments so that maybe a younger person or an older person can go and live with another family so that their needs can be taken care of, but yet they both remain living independently. Or maybe there's tiny houses put on properties. So it would be more ordinances in place to support that type of thing, as well as having more housing located close to services for older adults and grocery stores. It also, though, means that our employers in York County are really have what we call an age equitable lens. They've created policies and programs within their workplaces that really are equitable to all ages, and that they are taking into consideration qualified older applicants for positions. It means that when we're out and about in public spaces that we have safe places to walk, that there are smooth places to walk and trails that are large enough that and are paved that not only can a stroller go down it, but a stroller and a wheelchair side by side go down, or people walking with a person who might be using a walker be able to all go down together on the street. So it's things like that. It's also, though, making certain that we're helping York Countyans continue to have a sense of purpose and a sense of being, because that's so critical in aging. And it's also about helping York Countyans understand that our worth and our value isn't based on what we looked like when we were younger or our abilities compared to what we could do as a younger person. It's our life story and our experiences and the wisdom that we have to offer. So those are some of the things that ways success would be in York County.
Yeah, yeah. I can see how important it can be to have this anti-ageism lens in public policy and even in business and how people are working with their customers. It also sounds like I could and value looking at my own aging process in a more positive way as well. So is improving attitudes towards aging really that important?
Yes, it is, Jane. It is very important. You know, when we only view it as impairment and dependency, what happens is we are taking away a person's individuality, and we're associating them with only the negative stereotypes that comes with a number. And when that happens, it damages our sense of self, it diminishes our opportunities, it lessens our prospects in the community, and it can even shorten our lives. So the benefits to a York County when we address ageist thinking is, number one, York Countyans on average will live 7.5 years longer, which who doesn't want that, right?
Right.
Secondly, our community and our workplaces gain a wealth of knowledge and wisdom and energy from all generations, people of all ages coming together. And it also is about creating a York County that has more opportunities for a vibrant life for us, and that includes better housing, it includes more effective health care, it includes increased sense of belonging for everyone as we age.
Yeah, it really does sound like an important way to extend our lives, but also improve the quality of our life and our health as we grow older. It sounds like the kind of community I'd like to grow old in. So keep up the good work there, and let's get, how can our viewers get involved in this issue?
Yeah, thanks for asking that, because that is so important. We need each person in the community helping us with this. So I'm going to appeal to the 40% of York Countyans who are age 50 and older, and that includes me. I proudly say that I'm age 56 and happy to be part of that group. We need to speak up about our needs and our wants. What is it that we would like to see in terms of housing and transportation? What are the issues that we're facing in terms of employment or healthcare concerns or community supports? Let's speak up and talk about what our needs and desires are. It's time that we make them a priority. We don't want older adults to be a forgotten about thought or an afterthought. We must be a priority. To the other 60% of York Countyans, first of all, think of someone that you know and love who's older. Imagine what it's like to walk in their shoes. What is needed for them to have a better quality of aging experience? And then look at yourself, because eventually you will become an older adult. How do you want people to see you in the community? How do you want to be able to engage and stay connected and do the things that you love to do? So please, everybody, we need you to help become what we're calling disruptors of aging. Help us in our movement to really make York County a better place for everyone. You know, Jane, I often say no one will ever be younger than they are today. We are all aging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So to learn more about how you can become a disruptor of aging, we encourage you to visit our new website. It's www.embracingaging.org. There, individuals will learn 4 steps that they can do to become disruptors of aging. And included in that new website, we're really excited about this. Embracing Aging is going to be hosting 30-minute discussions with older York Countyans. It's going to be kind of like this Impact 20 format, Jane, where we're going to be asking questions for the first 20 minutes and then opening it up to anyone who's joining us for the discussion to be able to ask questions. But our first one is with Glenn Dunbar, and it's scheduled for next Tuesday, September 22nd at 9 a.m. And Glenn, he thinks aging's a little weird, and he also views aging as a little humorous. And the title of our session is, I Bet You Were Good Looking When You Were Young. So I'm really excited to hear what he has to say about that. So those are ways that individuals can get involved.
Yeah. Thanks. That's great. I love that there's practical tips. You know, you can talk about an issue, but then there's, well, okay, what am I going to do about it? So I'm really glad that those are available on the website, and we'll be hearing more over the coming months about how to do that. I think that really the more that people can embrace their age, the more their quality of life will be better, and the community's quality of life. And I do think that the next generation of older adults is going to demand more. I'm hopeful that we're going to all be stepping up and saying, hey, this is how I want to be viewed, how I want to be treated, and how I think our public policies can help align with including us more in the community. So I'm feeling hopeful about that.
Yeah.
You know, Cathy, you mentioned about businesses, and I'm sure there's a lot of business out there, nonprofit and for-profit businesses that are serving older adults. How can they benefit from learning about age bias in the workplace and all in their interactions with their clients? And how can you help with that?
Yeah, so for the first time ever, there's like workplaces that have 5 generations working together, and that in itself is new for some. So we have a training, but it's more an interactive discussion where we can come out and present and share with businesses, organizations, and clubs about the importance of embracing all ages and dismantling ageism, and why that's important to create an age-friendly workplace or organization. And when we do that, there's so much benefits because we have diversity of thought, we have diversity of energy, we have diversity of experiences and perspectives, and all of that is just it's just helps add to the return on investment of a business. So we can help with that. There's also it's really important that we take into consideration what language are we using to talk about changes in our community and in your organization. Oftentimes that phrase silver tsunami is used to talk about the baby boomers who are might be approaching retirement age. I don't like that phrase at all. When you think about tsunami, that's like a catastrophic event. And, you know, why are we phrasing it that way? And there are so many great case studies out there and best practices for age smart employment where we can help maybe offer innovative ways for older adults to stay engaged differently. So we have access to those and we can offer those to organizations. And we also, Jane, do things where we can help provide tips on the types of best communications. There's certain styles of fonts that work best for older adults in color combination. And we can also create audits of physical spaces to help assure that older adults who are not only employees, but customers or members of an organization can have the best safe and welcoming experience. And of course, we also have that we can help with culture and assure that policies and so forth are age equitable.
Yeah, that's great. That's really concrete. The Community Foundation itself went through the anti-ageism training and have done some audits and some changing our fonts as well. And we aim to treat everyone across the age spectrum with dignity and respect so that together we can create a vibrant York County that works for all of us. So thank you for the work you're doing, Cathy. We hope you all will join in that effort. And thank you for joining us today. Stay tuned for updates on this project and more ways to get involved at www.embracingaging.org or follow us on Facebook at YCCF Embracing Aging. Thank you so much. Have a terrific
Thanks,
day.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.